How's it going, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Shut Up and Take My Money, the show where we talk about the latest and greatest news in all of its plastic form. And today joining me is the dynamic duo of John and Mike. Bellers, how are you doing?
It looks like we're the glasses tag team. We're just going to take you out here.
The 8-Eye tag team.
Coming to get you.
We got a full plate today, and it's ridiculous. So we're just going to dive straight into this. But first, if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button and that bell for notifications so you're notified every time we drop new content over here on the channel. Podcast listeners, make sure you hit that follow, that subscribe, that download button, whatever it is that is in particular to your own platform. Hit it up so you guys don't miss an episode. Moving into the Plastico territory, we hit Neca first. We held off on talking about the Gargoyles tease last week because Mike was unable to make it. So we will talk about it this week. They did tease another Gargoyle, and Mike is super excited to talk about it. So Mike, you can express your excitement now.
I think I mentioned it in our chat that I thought for sure that this character was going to be the next one. Mm-hmm. And I was so happy that it was Demona. Because here was my line of thinking. If the line, for whatever reason, didn't pick up traction and didn't go far, you at least need to have a villain of some sort to go with your Goliath. And what better than like the ultra awesome and strangely arousing Demona.
I was wondering if you were going to hit that note. Yeah, that was a weird time in life.
You know what's funny is we went back and we were watching it on Disney Plus, and her shirt defies all logic and physics. Like, yes. I'm looking at it, I'm like, that doesn't make sense, because it would make sense if it was like a top that just kind of came over this way. But no, like one of the straps is ripped. Like,
yep. Janet Jackson all the way. Yeah. 100%.
All over again. David Xanatos is going to come over and rip it.
I'm curious if they're going to, well, it is NECA, so they're kind of a little bit more of an adult collector line. If they're going to keep with the classic outfit like you were just describing, or if they're going to like,
saw in the picture, it definitely, like, it's going to sound weird. The one thing I was blown away with, because I guess we should backtrack a little bit, is it was teased through like a toy commercial basically for the Goliath,
which was really well done, like the 90s toy commercial last week. It was very well done. The
stop motion in it was but man. When they showed that, like, it was at like, when I saw it was like 5 o'clock in the morning. Like, I was like waiting to leave for work, and I got a screen cap and I'm looking at it, and like you can see like all the texture in her shirt, like all the fabric texture and everything. I'm like, oh man, I just want the only thing. Well, first of all, I'm like pre-ordering this, like just like Goliath day one, like no questions asked. But there's a couple things it has to have. It has to have an alternate head with like the mouth open, fangs out, red eyes. That was like a horrifying vision. I remember from the opening credits.
That I feel like that. Yeah, I feel like it's gonna happen because Goliath has his like mean face too.
Yeah.
Johnny, you pre-ordering her when it hits?
Or did you get Goliath?
I was about to say, did you get Goliath? I don't remember.
No, I went back and forth on it, and I know that's going to be one where I'll probably be like, man, I should have bought that.
Well, your Uncle Mike has you covered just in case.
He's got 3 pre-orders.
I do have 2 Goliaths on pre-order because I don't know why.
Moving on to it wasn't so much an announcement as a happy little Easter egg during one of Randy's Twitter ride-outs. Somebody asked, I don't even know what to call them. Tweet-a-palooza?
Twitterthon?
Yeah, Twitterthon, yes.
But somebody asked him about, hey, with the Ultimate Mac ready from the Thing, should I go out and buy the 20-plus-year-old Thing action figures that cost an arm and a leg, or just, hold off? And he said, he basically said, hold off. And I was like, oh, thank Jesus. All right. Because I got the Mac ready, but I'm just kind of like, was this a mistake? Now I'm just going to have a Kurt Russell action figure and nothing else from the Thing.
I mean, that's not a bad thing.
I was just going to say.
It's not. I don't know if Mac ready would have been. I would have chose Kurt Russell from Big Trouble in Little China.
Oh, I hope Mac they ready. Do that, man. I want a Kurt Russell line.
That's not
I was
happening.
Going to say, what if they just did a Kurt Russell line?
But moving on to the big thing is we got the final product images of Chrome Dome for the TMNT cartoon line. And that is a humongo chunk of plastic.
He's a big boy.
And I'm pretty excited to get him.
When they show pictures of a toy holding another toy.
Yes.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
That's when you know it's a must.
I'm actually really glad they did that. They did that. They had Mikey in one of them, and then they had him next to Shredder, and it really shows you the side of the scale of this guy. I'm kind of curious.
Bigger than Krang.
I was just about to ask. I'm kind of curious if he's going to be bigger than Krang.
Yes, and the description, I believe he is a full 10 inches. I think.
Yeah.
Man,
that's a hefty bitch.
Yeah. Neca, you gotta stop. I'm running out of room.
You're gonna have to find a backup space.
I'm just waiting for the cutoff point where I could be no more. Because you see Chrome Dome and you're like, that's a must. I gotta have that. The stupid thing in your brain goes off. John, you never did get into the line, did you?
No, I was telling Tony last week that, that's, I live vicariously through you guys on this line, because I was collecting the stuff previous, and when NECA introduced all that stuff, I just knew it was going to be almost impossible for me to get anything. So I just said, you know what, that's okay. I'm happy for my friends to get it. It looks great. Every once in a while I look in on things and I go, should no, I don't need
but
to.
But now it's so far gone. You're like,
yeah, right. Yeah, it's really is. And I'm not too upset with it. I got other things that I can, collect still.
I would say it's a pre-order for me, but I don't think I'm going to have a chance to pre-order.
No, I don't think so.
I'm kind of, I shouldn't be, but I'm kind of sweating the Muckman Mando Gecko stuff right now. I keep seeing people having them. I'm like, how do you people have
overseas?
These?
It's overseas.
They're paying overprice just to get it, just for the waiving rights to say I have it first. But it's a must get for me. The paint scheme, the way they did it, and that's where NECA wins me over all the time is the aesthetic, because you kind of always have to pick sometimes aesthetic over articulation, and we'll kind of come back to that later. But the aesthetic of those figures is what makes them.
It checks a lot of boxes for me. It's a hunky piece of plastic. I think the price point's going to be $40 on him, though.
Yeah, probably.
And he's in the TMNT line. He's for me, he's a must get. It's a very vivid memory that I have of that big bastard.
If I remember correctly, the vintage toy, wasn't he the vac metal, the very shiny plastic? Yeah. Yes. I don't think I had him, but I do remember the figure.
Moving on into the very too good department and the very high price department, we're going to talk about some hot toys. And I laughed entirely too much at the fact that they're releasing yet again another Mando figure, but this time with an unmasked head sculpt, which I was surprised.
I saw the postings of it, but I didn't really look much into it because once again, when Star Wars stuff releases, I'm kind of blinders. I'm kind of yep, don't look, just keep going.
It's when you see your ex in public, you're just no. Nope.
Yeah. Nope. But I saw enough to know that people were pretty not happy about it.
I mean, I don't blame them.
It's basically it's a deluxe version, right? Though he has I saw he has the stick with all the bags and stuff on it.
He's got everything.
And Grogu and how much is it? I didn't even look.
I don't remember. I looked, but I can't remember now. I think it was in the ballpark of like $290.
I don't want my computer to crash, so I'm not gonna try to pull it up right now.
But you can also get his the sweeper bike that he used in.
Come on.
Which episode was that? I forget which episode that was. But you can get that too, which is like super duper cool. It's a bucket list item to get one of those Hot Toys vehicles. I don't know what one, but
Hulkbuster's kind of a vehicle.
I mean, yeah, but like it's not a Batman tumbler though. Like that.
What's
thing,
the price point on those?
The tumbler's not that bad actually. I don't remember. You're asking me all these questions. I'm sorry. To pull it up.
And then the details of it.
The Bat Pod's like a couple hundred, right? Something like that.
I think so.
Because they've done only a few.
The Bat Pod wasn't terribly priced.
And then they did. I mean, if I had to pick a Hot Toy vehicle to have, it would be the Burton Batmobile they did.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's sweet.
All right, so 6 scale figure accessory Batmobile. The tumbler is $625.
Ooh.
That's okay, not even that terrible.
That's what I figured it would be.
That's not bad for Hot Toys, to be honest. And then the Mando figure, that's the other thing you wanted to know, right? I was pretty far off actually. It's for the collector's edition, it's $330. For the deluxe version, it's $375.
So what comes with the deluxe version? Just like a bunch of different accessories?
Yeah. It's like the whole kit caboodle. It comes with Grogu. It comes with it has a Boba Fett helmet. When he finds it and retrieves it, he has the whole over the shoulder pack carrying thing. It comes with, I think the collector's edition comes with the unmasked head as well.
All right, listen, I was pretty happy not being into Hot Toys.
I'm going to come clean right now, John. It's actually been my mission for a little bit now to get you to break and buy one Hot Toy.
That might be one, actually.
Yeah,
that might be on the opposite end of everyone else griping about it.
We need to live vicariously through you. Buy the Star Wars Hot Toys.
We let you live with our Ninja Turtles.
Yeah. You selfish bastard.
Take one for the team.
But yeah, so I was like I said, I was cracking up because this is like the fourth or fifth Mando Hot Toy they've released.
They've done a lot.
We've had the conversation like, oh, buy a Mando, dude. Like, you love the show, buy a Mando. And I'm like, yeah, I know, but like, which Mando? And then they just keep releasing them. I'm like, well, maybe I should just like, call their bluff and wait until they completely stop releasing them and then choose which one I want to fucking pick.
Yeah,
Here's the thing. Like, I'm concerned. It's a slippery slope.
Yep.
Like, once you, I'm going to tell you this, John. Look at me.
Listen, look at me.
Once you justify the one Hot Toy purchase, once you buy the one, it becomes so easy after to just be like, that's one more.
That's what I'm afraid of. Yeah. Listen,
it's
you know how hard it was for me not to buy the Jean-Claude Van Damme statues that they were releasing? Like, that price point was just way too much for me. But even then, I seriously considered it. Like, I was like, well, do my kids really have to go to college?
It's just it is initially just like making that first hurdle, like it's like a Band-Aid. Like,
just rip it off.
Just rip it off, and then after that, you just pick the scab.
Yep.
Yeah. No, that's gonna be one that I definitely maybe like an anniversary gift or something.
Yeah, there you go.
Tell Ruth.
So okay, I have a friend, and he's not gonna be named here. I don't want to get him in trouble, but this is just too hilarious.
We'll call him Smitty.
We'll call him Smitty. So Smitty is a father. So Father's Day just passed, as you two know, and he was under the impression that his wife had finally broke down and bought him a hot toy. And I looked at him because I know his wife too. And I looked at him, I go, dude, you didn't get a hot toy. Like, I'm sorry to break it to you, but it's not a hot toy. He's like, why do you say that? I go, I know your wife, and if she's excited about the present she got you, it's not a hot toy. And he's like, whatever, man, whatever, you know, getting all pissy and shit. And Father's Day comes to pass, and I see him, and I go, hey, what did you get for Father's Day? He goes, I got a little thing with like the kids' footprints and a little whiskey glass with some rock ice cube things that say Stark Industries. I was like, and he goes, no fucking hot toy. You happy? I didn't get a fucking hot toy. And I was like, I know, buddy. One year. 1 year.
That kind of makes me
sad. You know what you should do? You should make some footprints of your hot toys and give it to him as a gift. Hey, I know you really wanted a hot toy. Here's the next best thing.
I got you this. What the hell is this? The footprints of my hot toys? That would be the ultimate dick move. I might have to do it. Hot Toys also released this morning probably one of the creepiest Marvel Cinematic characters in Hot Toy 1/6 scale form. And there's no better way to say this. I've been thinking all day on how to say this, but White Vision from WandaVision.
Good day for a White Vision.
And this figure's the character itself has creeped me out. Just the soulless eyes and all that jazz. Like it was like just really creepy. So like this Vision and having him in my place of dormitory. I don't know if it's going to be a get for me.
And part of it would depend on like whether or not like are they going to go all in on the White Vision?
Yeah. That's one of those things where like I'm kind of willing to hold off. Like, are they going to do more with this character, or is it literally a one scene, one off?
Exactly. Yeah.
Like Wanda and Vision, that makes sense to me. But White Vision.
Did you see too? They announced they did a updated sculpt for Scarlet Witch.
Okay,
they updated her portrait.
Okay, I seen it, but I was like, wait, is this the same one that I pre-ordered already, or is this another one?
It's the same one. They're letting you know that the face sculpt, the portrait and stuff has been updated.
Got it.
It looks like they moved up her headdress like more because it was sitting too low, and I'm guessing that's what they got from concept art. Mm-hmm. But they moved it up. It still looks spot on. I still need to order it. I still feel like that's like like Elizabeth Olsen is one of the characters that they've pretty much like nailed the likeness.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think though, and I think after they might start to get like less like her, because I've seen it with Hot Toys before where they get hit the likeness point on a character, mm-hmm. and then like they seem to get to a point where it's like they're so dead on that after they start to kind of lose their footing.
Yeah.
I can't think. Paul Rudd is one of them. Like the first Ant-Man like was so good, and the other ones that have followed after have not been very good at all. But yeah, the White Vision. I'm more likely to pre-order the regular Vision than I am that one. I think that one should have been like a con exclusive.
Yeah,
to be honest.
Moving into the Hasbro, Mike's gin and juice, if you will. Talk about the Marvel Legends that just like rapid fired into us in the past 24 hours.
So here they said Dan Ryan from the Hasbro Marvel Legends team, they said in May at the end of May when they did their fan first thing, June you're not going to have much, which is funny because then they followed it up with that freaking Wolverine set. But anyways. They're like, June, you're not going to have much, but July, they're like, July, get ready. And we're already the second day in July, and they've announced 2 things so far. 2 really weird things.
3 things.
3 things. 3 things?
I don't know. Maybe we're talking about different things. I'm talking about the MCU Spider-Man No Way Home wave.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
That hit, which that's an easy pass for me. I do enjoy the black and gold suit. That was
that's weird.
That's a nice look. I think that really kind of pops really, really well. And then I'm assuming that's another Iron Spider suit, or it looks very similar to the Iron Spider suit.
I missed my just normal, like, run-of-the-mill Spider-Man. I think they're really trying to make him like the Iron Man, and like now because they've said he has like three costumes or something in this movie, and then in what was it, Far From Home, you saw him in like every version of his costume plus two more.
Yeah. So
it's like, okay, I see what you're doing.
Because I always forget about the Mysterio illusions.
Yeah.
And yeah, they showed off the two Spider-Men.
J. Jonah Jameson.
Yep. J. Jonah Jameson and then Doctor Strange. Which, the likeness on those two.
Really good. It's really good.
Pretty good, Hasbro. The Doctor Strange one, like, Benny Cumberbatch is a really weird looking dude.
Because he's British. They have weird proportions.
So to capture that likeness, good job.
I keep forgetting about the J. Jonah Jameson one. That one
it's so weird.
That could be a maybe. That could be a very strong maybe, just because that's the one man over the years that has played the same character in all of like the Marvel rendition. So I feel like that's monumental.
He's done it. He did it for the Maguire movies. He did it for these movies, and he did it in one of the Spider-Man animated series too.
Yeah, I think it was the one that Drake Bell was Spider-Man.
Yeah,
I think that might have been it. I forget which one that is.
And I think just to say you have a J.K. Simmons action figure.
Yeah, you can recreate. You can recreate that one scene where he's playing the drums in that movie.
That's exactly what I was just gonna say. I couldn't think of the name of the movie though.
Then what else did they today they dropped fucking Elvis MODOK.
Elvis MODOK.
Like I know it's from a comic, but that is just so left field.
That was my favorite, man. That was my favorite drop.
He has a guy with him, the Captain.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with any of this, and I think it's one of those things like you either get it or you don't.
Yeah,
and
right.
If you get it, you're gonna want it. If you don't, then you're just gonna be like, "What is?" Which I think is perfect for a con exclusive.
Yeah,
something like that. It should be something very niche like that. Where
I agree, 100%.
If you pass on it, you don't feel like you're missing out. You know?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
John, are you gonna pre-order Elvis MODOK?
No, I can't say that I will.
Damn,
I just want the hamburger accessory.
Yeah.
How much?
$70 or $75.
Holy shit. Yeah, definitely not. No, man, I'm good.
Is it die-cast?
Well, you got to think he does come with another figure. Original MODOK was $50.
Yeah.
So
I guess that makes sense.
It kind of equals out.
So wait, what else does he come with? So
a figure of a character called the Captain and a weird cheeseburger array.
Okay.
I want that cheeseburger array. That would go perfect with the Deadpool stuff.
It would. It's just it's such a weird thing. Like, even if I did get it, I have no, like, all my shelves are like dedicated to one specific type of thing, and I would have no place for that. Like, I had Cosmic Ghost Rider just sitting on a shelf by himself.
There you go.
I don't know what to do with them.
Elvis MODOK can hang with Cosmic Ghost Rider.
Yeah, there it is.
All right,
John just gave you the answer.
That's going to be a Pulsecon exclusive.
Yeah. You know what else is going to be a Pulsecon exclusive that I'm mad it's a Pulsecon exclusive? That retro card animated Venom with those badass paint apps that make it look exactly like the freaking show. Like, I've never been this excited about a Marvel Legend ever.
My heart stopped when I saw that. I was like, "Oh my god!"
I stared at that shit.
Beautiful thing. I don't care about when my kid's born. This is the most beautiful.
This is going to be the happiest moment.
When that kid gets older, I'll be like, listen, The day you were born was the second happiest day of my life. Do you know what the first was? When Marvel Legends announced an animated series, Venom.
But like John, you've seen it, right? I can't remember if you said anything when we were talking about it.
Yeah, like when you guys dropped it, I was like, oh, dude. Like that got me excited. And then I went on Hasbro's site and, looked it up and it was like, oh, coming soon. And I thought, oh man, yeah, that's definitely going to be one that I'm never going to get my hands on. So,
Mike, did they give a date as to the drop?
It's going to be during Pulsecon. It's going to be in the fall. Last time it was in September, like towards the end of September. So I would expect it around then.
Okay.
And if it's anything like the past con drops, they're relatively easy to get if you have a Pulse membership. Like last year I was able to get the Hellfire Club set, and I ended up buying the Cobra Commander and the Lightning Collection Lord Draken just for the shits of it to see if I could.
Yeah.
And I'm a little concerned because this Venom, like, everybody's going crazy for it.
Mm-hmm.
And this opens a door for them to do more animated series type figures. Like if they could do a Scorpion, or like you said, Doc Ock. And then if you roll that over into like the X-Men realm of things, people have been wanting a Morph for so long. And Morph, that version of Morph never appeared in the comics. That was strictly the animated series thing. So I always thought there's no chance that we'll ever get that version of that character. But now I'm like, well, maybe. I mean, can you imagine if like next week they announced a retro carded Morph? But back to this Venom, I think like I watched the video of Toy Shiz doing the full like reveal of it.
Yeah.
And the way that figure's painted, because he says what he has is an exact it is a production.
Yeah.
It is production. It's not like a sample. That is the figure. And like any like light, any way you turn it, any angle, it looks so good with that blue and that red.
Oh,
like I always thought that was such a bizarre choice for the animated series when they did that. But it has like become kind of like its thing.
Yeah.
And I told Steph about it. I showed Steph a picture of it yesterday. She is not familiar with Spider-Man the animated series. She was like, I don't get it. Like, I'm like, no, this thing's so fucking cool. I can't even stand to look at it. You don't even understand. I honestly, I'm thinking of buying two.
It's weird that you say that, because like that thought crossed my mind as well.
Because it looks so damn beautiful on that card.
Yeah,
it's so beautiful.
Yeah,
it does.
And is it coming with like a special case or something like that?
Yeah, it has like that. It has a black shipper. With, the Venom face on it. It's kind of like the Deadpool they did.
Two's going.
I mean, that's a chef kiss figure right there. Like, I don't even care that the holes are on his triceps. Like, whatever. Like, this is such an awesome figure. And the fact, too, that Hasbro kind of is delving more into that cel-shaded feel. Like, we've seen it with the MMPR pink, and now this. Like, I love cel-shaded. I love it.
We talked about the MMPR boom pink, and then this happened, and I there was no hesitation. I go, I'm getting that figure, that price point. I don't care. I'll pay it. And then it made me rethink about the boom pink Ranger, and I was like, $27.99 is not that bad. And I was like, what are you doing? Like you were supposed to stand sturdy on your ground.
Initial thought when I first saw just the price point, I was like, wow, are they doing that just because they know they can get away with doing that? Or are they doing that because, it's legitimately, hey, this is going to cost a little bit more because of the painting?
No, I don't. I think it might be a little bit of both. It might be a little bit because of the extra paint work, but it also might be just because they know, and because it's a con exclusive, you throw that word exclusive on something, you can charge extra.
Yeah, right.
Because let's be honest, it's the Omega Red body. That's all it is.
Yeah.
You grab that figure you peel off the armor, like there it is, boom. And they just kind of did new forearms, I think, for him, and that was about it. And then the two head sculpts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I kind of wish he had an Eddie Brock one. Not gonna lie.
Oh yeah, that would have been sweet.
But I do think down the road they will release a more traditional comic style Venom on that body in that form.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I would like to see the McFarlane Eddie on that body, just because the one that was released with the Sandman Build-A-Figure, I always thought that his body was just a little bit too small.
Oh, it's horrible.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I saw that one
even for that comic version.
I saw that one, I think, at Meijer a couple times, and I passed on it just because like the proportions of like the neck to head ratio was so bad. But this and me and Tony, me and you talked about it before, how there still hadn't been like that definitive Venom Marvel Legend here in the modern era Marvel Legends, and
yeah,
there it is.
I was gonna say this hit the sweet mark. Like I can't even tell you when that popped up. When it was another Street Shark moment. Like I lost my freaking mind. I was like, I cannot believe this. Like this is an amazing figure.
When that stuff happens, I don't know about you guys, but I get like so legitimately excited. I'm like, I just want to fucking tell people. And I realize I'm like, I have nobody to really tell but you guys. I can tell Steph, and she's nice enough to humor me.
Yeah, right.
And act interested.
That's nice.
She's like, go play with your Ninja Turtles. But like, I just get so excited, and then I go and I watch like YouTube videos of people talking about it because I'm like, they get it.
Why can't anyone else get
it? He's sitting there on his phone. Yes.
I do love my
toys.
Just losing his mind. But they also came at us this morning with some Whitening Collection news, which in comparison was like just kind of like, huh.
Oh, that's cool.
Here's the thing. Well, I think part of it too is because like pretty much all of it had leaked.
Yeah.
Prior to which even the Marvel Legend guys have said like when that stuff happens, it really does take the wind out of their sails.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's happened numerous times where right before they do fan first event, like something will leak or Amazon will post it early or something, and it just like takes the wind out. And that's kind of what happened with the Lightning Collection stuff.
They revealed Wave 10, which was leaked like last week or the week before. I don't remember what.
Actually, Wave 10 has been rumored since like January, February.
Jesus.
Same with like the monster
excited
stuff.
About it.
I watch. There is a YouTube channel I frequent for Lightning Collection stuff, and like this kid, like I say kid, he looks like a kid, but he's probably like 20 years old because I'm an old fart. But he like knows this stuff, like, and he's one of the people that's able to crack the codes. You know how they code figures.
Yeah,
like it'd be like Venus, something like, oh well, that's MMPR pink. Like, how the fuck do you know? Like, how did you figure that out?
But no, decoder ring.
Yeah, the only one that was unsure of Wave 10, which we'll obviously start leading into it, was I think the Phantom Ranger.
Yeah, the in space
from Turbo.
I thought it was in space.
He's from Turbo, but he makes appearances in space, and they label him as in space for some strange reason. Another thing is in the comic books right now, they're doing like a whole series of him that kicked off this week, so it kind of coincides with that character. And I mean, I never watched Turbo. I got out of it at Turbo, but he's a pretty cool.
Him in Turbo.
He's a pretty cool looking character, I will say.
It's probably just going to be Yellow Zeo out of that wave for me. Like that's it.
For some reason, I don't know why. I don't know if it's because they like really botched the Zach like Walter Jones head sculpt.
Uh-huh.
I thought they were really going to botch her head sculpt.
Yeah, I mean, they've botched everybody's besides like Trini's. Like,
besides a select few, yeah. Like, but
there's
when
ones
they
that
showed,
are better than the others, but like, out of all of them, nobody's has been on point.
They showed Tanya's, and I was like, "Holy shit!" I was like, "That's good job.
You got it. You got it, buddy.
You guys didn't fuck this up."
But you know what else?
Yeah.
You know what they did fuck up? Eye Guy. There was a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot about Eye Guy that I was just kind of like, man, I don't know if this is like still like the old team stuff filtering out. I'm assuming it is. But like Eye Guy was more of like an off-white, and I'm going to pick the monsters apart because of their price point and because like it's the one thing in this line that I goddamn been waiting for since the beginning. And they're just fucking shitting all over it. What the
I
fuck?
sent you that. I sent you those two pictures on purpose. Because honestly, besides maybe the added paint in the eye, like the main eye does look better than the vintage toy.
Yeah.
But they're not
Still
much
missing
different.
Yeah.
And I still like, I can't pull the trigger on what is a $30 figure if they're not going to put, just because it's bigger shouldn't mean that it gets less love or less attention to detail. It should get more because it's bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
right.
You're able to bring out more of that detail. But I think Eye Guy is a figure that really, really could have used like a gray wash or something on it, like something 100%. To bring out. And they didn't even paint all the eyes on him. All the eyes aren't even painted.
Dude, the eyes look like polka dots. Like, I just looking at it, just glancing at it, I'm like, this doesn't even look, they don't look like eyes. They look like polka dots. It's like Polka Dot Man.
Yeah, I agree.
Fuck.
There is something else they messed up too.
On Eye Guy?
No.
Are you talking about the In Space Pink suit?
There's the In Space Pink, which for whatever reason, the In Space Rangers have like a white thing right here on their arm, which all of them up to now have had, but Pink doesn't have it.
And
it's just another one of those things where it's like, what? It's a thing of like, does the left hand not know? Does the left hand not know what the right hand's doing? Like, how does that happen? Like, it's the same thing with like the Zeo Rangers. Like, how do you have it where like red and green don't have the gold paint around their wrists, but blue, yellow, and pink do? Or these Rangers have silver, but Red Ranger has white around his board. Like, what are you doing? What I'm hoping happens is with this Wave 9, they did Lost Galaxy Blue, and when they showed prototypes and all that, the helmet was messed up. Like, the visor part had silver, and then the top part had white, and people were like, no, that's not right. Like, it's all supposed to be silver. Well, they went back and they corrected it. When it was by the time it was released, it was all silver. So hopefully they fix it in post. The Lightning Collection is my biggest love-hate thing right now. Like, I love them, but there's still things they do that just drive me absolutely insane. And the inconsistencies in paint apps is one of the most mind-boggling things to this day. It's right up there with like Amelia Earhart's disappearance.
Yeah, that's
John, I know you're a Power Rangers fan, and you've kind of collected some of the Lightning Collection. Are you planning to pick up anything that they announced?
I'll probably get Eye Guy, unless it looks really crappy. And no, not day one. Okay.
Like Amazon Prime Day, and
yes, exactly.
Use those points.
That's just it, right? Like you know, every time we would go to a GameStop, we go hunting or something like that. If I saw it there and I liked it, I would get it. It's not one of those that I've just been like, man, I really need to get this. But even some of the Psycho Ranger stuff, I was like, this just looked cool to me, so I picked it up, right. And the same goes with some of the characters. Like, I thought, some of the bad guys, like you said, Tony, you would think that they would take a little bit more care in them. And like Mike said, they're bigger. So like there should be more detail to these and it's a lot easier for you. And yet there's not. But like here we are. And I mean, hell, I like a good bargain. So I definitely will pick it up if it's a decent price.
There's one monster that if they release and they screw it up, I'm going to just like lose my ever-loving mind. Like I'm just going to be like, that's it, and just burn all the Lightning collection. Is the Pudgy Pig. Like that's the one monster. That's my favorite of the MMPR monsters. That if they release it and it sucks, I'm just going to be like,
I'm done.
I'm selling my Hasbro stock. I'm done with all of it. Like I'm done with you. You know what can help the line in general is some good competition, which we're about to get with the recent announcement of Super 7's Power Rangers line for their ultimate line from Super 7. And when they showed that Wave 1 and those accessories alone, I said, you got me. If you're willing to shell out the cash, which, I mean, obviously I'm stupid and I'm willing to shell the cash out. We are getting some MMPR stuff from Super 7, which is the higher line collectible, I guess you'd say, not the bargain bin price type collectible. I think each figure was like $55.
Yeah, this is like This isn't like. This is like I don't even know, because a normal collectible figure is usually around $25, $30, and these are like a step above, but part of it is because they're a smaller company. But the $50 to $5 price point, whoo, I said the same thing with the Ninja Turtle stuff. Like that's a lot of money, because you got, and I'm not saying it's not justified.
I don't think it is that much money, because if you look at the comparison, like we were just talking about it, like you pay $20, but you're having to deal with shitty QC issues all the time and them not doing things properly, monsters looking like crap, monsters
or
not
just
being
making
in
weird
scale.
Oddball decisions.
Yeah. And with these higher gauge companies that you're going to pay a little bit more, they are a little bit more cautious because they're charging you this. It's almost justified if you bitch about something.
Yeah, right.
Like you can't, you can't willingly sit there and complain about a $20 figure because it's a $20 figure. You only paid $20 for it. Like you can express like concern and about, oh, this sucked and this sucked and this sucked, but still you only paid $20.
Yeah.
Also, go ahead, John.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, and there's like 20 people lined up behind you that aren't going to complain and are going to grab that figure up from it. You can't really, it's a really hard gamble for them to be like, oh yeah, you know what? We're not going to pay specific attention to detail with some of these figures, because $55 is a high price point for a piece of plastic.
Right.
And in regard to that, when you're trying to compete with something else that's out there, it's not every collector that's paying $20 to $25 is going to pay $55.
Right.
So obviously quantity is lower. And you get too many of those fans that complain about it, like too much of a screw up. It's almost like, okay, what other company is going to want to license out their IP to you then? That's really tough. So they really got to pay attention to the detail with these things.
Well, to piggyback kind of on that, not to mention like for a line like Super 7, that their survival rides on customer satisfaction and people being happy. If the people that buy those figures aren't happy and aren't buying them, then they're not going to survive. So they have to put a little bit more love and care into it than like a Hasbro, who, not to say that their teams aren't fans and don't care about what they're doing, because plenty of them do, and plenty of the lines they do.
Yeah.
But those figures are produced at such a mass quantity and scale.
Yeah, right.
That it's I would say it's like comparing apples to oranges, but it's even more of a difference.
Yeah.
You know, I think comparing NECA to Super 7 is much more ideal as compared to Hasbro to Super 7, because they're two totally different things.
I feel like the Super 7, the NECA category is aimed more towards like the season collector.
It's people that want I feel I've always looked at it as those are more people that want more of the aesthetic.
Yeah.
Over the articulation and stuff like that. Because the first thing I saw people complaining about with Super 7 stuff is, and I will say, yes, they are much less articulated than the Lightning Collection. Like, you will not get them in a lot of poses that you can get Lightning Collection, just due to the fact that they have single jointed elbows, single jointed knees. They do have a ball hinge around the waist, so you will get movement there. And then they do have like the ab crunch, which is cool. That's good. But it's definitely going to be more of an aesthetic thing.
Yeah.
The head sculpts are the weirdest part of all of them.
Agreed.
They
look almost comic inspired.
Yeah. And you said something about like them going more for the Bandai, the old Bandai toys from when we were younger, and they gave some shout outs to that, which I applaud them. It was in good taste, and it didn't like kind of like go full fledged into the figure. Like if you look at the blaster, they have like the old school all white with the hole in the handle. Which was really cool. That. Well, because and then I think they have a switch out arms that is more like the old school. And
they have for Tommy, they swap out the arms for if he loses his shield, so that way he doesn't have the bands on it. Yeah. The thing Super 7 has always gone by, and I'm not very like into the Super 7 stuff. Like I'm kind of like, it's a little too rich for my blood, but I kind of like their motto of, we make the toys that you think you remember them being as a kid. Yeah. It's like the Ninja Turtle stuff. Like they make them how you think you remember them, not how they actually were, but how you think they were, which I think is the coolest and most, awesome thing to strive to do. Like it's definitely doing something that nobody else is doing. Right. They did it with Thundercats. They've done it with Masters of the Universe, Ninja Turtles, and now they're going to do it with Power Rangers.
At least they offer payment plans. So
they do.
Yeah.
The payment plans are a little weird. Did you read it?
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. We won't go into detail. Okay. So basically it's like 3 installments. You get charged like a 5% charge rate for each installment for like processing fee and all that stuff. And it starts from the moment you order and then 3 consecutive months. Like, so if you order today in July, you pay, and then again in August and again in August, and each one charge gets 5% of a processing fee.
That's so weird.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't like that.
It goes back to what me and John were talking about, like about having those payment plan options, and it's there for you to be able to get what you want. They don't have to do it. They could say, sorry, kid, better luck next time.
It does make it sting a little less.
Yeah. And
right.
What you're talking
and dropping
about,
like $200, what is it? $275 for the wave?
Yeah. $275 for 4. That's
a hot toy.
But you get into that question, you were saying, I could buy 3 Marvel Legends for that. What you get into the age-old argument of quality versus quantity. So like I would not buy an army build Super 7 putties.
No.
Like I feel like that would just be like reckless as all hell.
Yeah. That's another thing that turned me off, is like I saw it, I was like, it was the same thing with the foot soldiers. I was like, I can't army build that. Get out of here.
Yeah.
Sir?
No, I mean, on the other hand though too, and not like this is ever a situation that it's like, oh, hey, I'm all for profit, but you know that these ones, they automatically go up in price point no matter what. It's just like, it can be the shittiest figure out of Super 7, and yet, like, you're still paying more for it on the secondary market than what you would have if you would have just bought straight from them. Whereas, I feel with Hasbro, like some of these characters, like, I mean, Frogman, like we just talked about a couple weeks ago, I got it for half price pretty much. And I don't know, unless I got lucky on eBay or something, if I would ever see like a Super 7 figure like that, like out of the Power Rangers line, for instance, where I would get it for less than $55.
I'm still going back and forth. I'm pulling the trigger on the T-Rex, the Tyrannosaurus Zord, because I think it's really cool that they're going to be doing Zords, because they have said that there will be a Zord in every wave, and there will be a monster in every wave. So, and one thing I am interested to see, I'm interested to see how they scale, how the monsters scale with the Lightning Collection monsters and the Rangers.
Yeah.
Because if I'm able to, maybe I'll be able to be like, you know what? I'm going to skip the Lightning Collection monsters, but I'll buy the Super 7 monsters.
Yeah, right.
Or,
that makes perfect sense to me. And that's secretly what I'm hoping for is the monsters. I'm not so much like the Rangers are going to be a cool addition and they'll look good. But
that
they
Aisha head sculpt, by the way.
Yeah. But here's the thing is, those Super 7 ones are not going to look good as the 3-0 ones coming this fall. So it's
I
one
still
of
haven't
those
pre-ordered
deals.
those. It might be one of my final like super large purchases. But we'll see what the HasLab has in store for Marvel Legends.
Yeah.
I am glad too I was wrong about the Super 7. They don't have the power coin on the chest. I thought for sure they were going to do that.
It was a good assumption because of the turtle line.
It
makes sense.
They did include the classic flip head Green Ranger shield, though. I did see that, which I thought that was kind of weird. And here's another thing with Super 7 that doesn't quite grasp me as much as other people is like, I'm not a big accessory person. I usually will display my figure with one or two of them, and the rest of it goes in a little drawer, and I never look at it again.
Oh, that's funny.
The amount of Ranger hands I have is insane. Or the little the Marvel Legend like circle effects with the bubbles.
Oh yeah.
I see. Okay, the whole accessory thing for me is like, I would really like to do toy photography and stuff, but I feel like my accessories are all the same. Like there's not a variety, Yeah. So like, I'm always like, no, I can't do what I want to do. So I'm not going to do this.
Did you ever see like I think it's the Action Force, that like independent, the ones who made the Sergeant Slaughter figure?
No,
they have accessory packs, and I have like of guns. Oh, dude, like I definitely had been like, ooh, man, I think I might have to look into this.
Like that's why NECA gets me every time with their accessory packs. It could be from a line I don't even collect. I go, well, I could use that piece right there.
Well, that's partially why I got a 3D printer, because I was like, oh,
you have a 3D printer?
Yeah. I thought you knew that.
No.
Yeah.
What are you doing, John?
Yeah. Well, not much now because it stinks, and so I'm trying to get a filter for it. But
I was about to say you gotta get it.
Oh
my God,
cool little stuff like that. Like I mean, I painted that, but that's what I had been doing in COVID last year, was just that, and then I felt like I was inhaling too many resin fumes, so I was like, I got to get a better filtration system.
John with his secrets.
The amount of foot soldier guns I have is absurd. Dude. I can't close the drawer. Some of them are so big and bulky that I'm like, I don't know what the fuck to do with this. Like,
Real quick before we finish this up, John, what are you gonna pull the drop the hammer on any of these Super 7 figures or no?
I've been going back and forth on
Coward.
it. Yeah, definitely. I really, wanted the Silverhawks as well, but like, I can't just get one figure out of the Silverhawks line. I want to get them all.
Yeah.
But then I don't want to spend all that money on it. So like, then it goes, okay, what should I go sell off or something? I got to look through the comic collection, be like, what do I not want anymore? And can I, get a decent penny for this?
As you start to do that, it becomes harder to pick and choose.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. And then I forget that I have a 3D printer and I can make some cool stuff. So
like Kapowcast action figures.
Yeah, exactly. Some
throwing it out there. Out there. I'll buy the filament.
I will jump on the Super 7 train, I think, when and if one of the other lines I'm getting, like, I can cap it off and end it.
Yeah.
Like,
right. That's the tough thing with some of it is just doing that. Marvel Legends have been really nice and just picking and choosing. But then like G.I. Joe Classified has just...
It's like you gotta have every one almost.
Ooh, man. Yeah, I hate myself for it.
I cursed the day I walked into that Walmart and found the whole first wave.
Yeah, right? Yeah, exactly. Like the fact... I blame you, Mike, because I was just going to let it go. And then you're like, man, I really liked these. And then I was like, dang it. And then I was like, those do look really good.
So pass on the Super 7, John?
Not a hard pass, not yet.
Yeah, I can't even say for sure that I'm gonna fully pass. Like, we'll have to see.
Yeah, because maybe I'll just pick up that Goldar. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I could hear his voice like when I look at that figure.
Yeah, right.
Rita.
Yeah, man.
Something like that.
I'm hard in.
You're all in.
Yep.
I know you're.
Did you already pre-order?
Yes.
Nice.
And here's the bitch thing about Super 7 though. Like, if you don't, like, let's say like me and you, John, we don't jump in on this, don't get him. Tony gets his, 4 years from now. Because it's a joke because the Super 7 stuff, it's not a quick turnaround. It takes a long time. But anyways, Tony gets his, and then like let's say like he really likes them, and we see him, we're like, oh my god, those are really cool. Like oh crap, how do I get these now?
Yeah, exactly. That's how I feel
FOMO,
about those.
The fear of missing out.
Yep.
Tony bought 3 waves. Markup is $500.
All right, Tony, here's $600. Here we go. Okay. That's just
Goliath.
That's what Tony and I chatted about last time too. Is that and Storm Collectibles and like Mezco and stuff, and it's just like they're great figures, and there's figures out like the Conan and those Masters of the Universe television or the movie lines. Like I've missed out on it, and now I don't want to give anyone else the satisfaction of shelling out way more than the price is. Yep. I'm just too cheap for that. Like I got other stuff I can do with that.
You've got standards.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly.
I was watching an interview with the guy who runs Super 7, and he said like, here's like Hasbro, Mattel, like all these guys. Here's them, and like the guys like Neca, and here's somebody sculpting stuff in their garage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
like they're like and that's cool. That I love the fact that there's more companies out there making stuff, and there's something for everybody. Like, just because I might not get these, it doesn't mean I don't think they're cool and people will enjoy them. I'm not going to sit there and bash them. Yep. And try to talk myself out of them being bad figures, because there's definitely some good things that they are offering. There's some things I don't like, but there's some things I do like, and no figure's perfect. But I mean, I'm not going to get all bent out of shape about it, because this is a fun hobby. And if it stops being fun, if you start getting angry about things, like violently angry, then you should probably move on.
Yeah. That's what COVID, that's what COVID did in the beginning. Like with all these grown ass men and fighting in the toy aisle, that I was just like, I was disgusted. I'm like, I'm done. I'm out.
Because you don't want to be associated with that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I totally was like, okay, I'll start collecting power tools, and that's what I did.
And then you were like, wait, this is way more expensive than toys.
I was just gonna say, switch one expensive line for another.
But yeah, that'll cap off this episode of Shut Up and Take My Money. As you can see, that some of us and others will be spending way more money than we should, as always. And make sure you hit that subscribe button and that bell for notifications, so you're notified every time we drop new content over here. And if you want to help us out, you can head over to Patreon at patreon.com/Kapowcast, where just for $1, you can help us out with paying for Zoom every month.
Yeah, right. It actually doesn't go into the collection. It actually goes back into the site, you know. So.
I really wish I could let it go into the collection, but it disappears a lot quicker than I can even make a decision on what I want to buy with it.
Hey, Super 7, change Mike's mind. Give us some reviewed stuff.
Yeah,
so, you know.
Yeah, just
give it. Try to sway me, guys. Come on. Give it. I'm calling you bluff.
And until next week, when hopefully we get even more plastic toy news. I've been Tony.
I'm Mike.
I'm John.
And we'll talk to you guys later.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.